Okay, let's talk about buying a new laptop. I mean, it can feel pretty overwhelming, right? Especially in 2025. It's a huge chunk of money, and that feeling of what if I pick the wrong one is, well, it's real. So, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that confusion. I'm going to give you a super simple, clear guide to finding the absolute perfect machine for you. You know that feeling when you're looking at a spec sheet and your eyes just glaze over? You see stuff like i7-13700HX or RTX 4060, and it just feels impossible. Trust me, you are not alone. It's almost like it's designed to be confusing. And that fear of dropping a ton of cash on the wrong laptop, totally valid. But hey, don't worry, we're about to fix that right now. So here's the plan. We're going to build a really simple framework together. And I promise, by the end of this, you won't just understand what all those specs mean, you'll know exactly which ones actually matter for you. You'll be able to walk away and choose your next laptop with total 100% confidence. All right, let's dive in. Okay, section 1. And this is, without a doubt, the most important part. Before we even think about processors or fancy graphics cards, we have to answer one simple question. What are you actually going to use this laptop for? Seriously, this one decision right here, it's going to guide everything else we talk about. Honestly, it all boils down to one of these three profiles. So take a second and look at this. Where do you fit? Are you a productivity user? Studying, office work, web browsing, where you just need something responsive with great battery life. Or maybe you're a creative, doing photo and video editing, design work, where the GPU, the CPU, and that screen are everything. Or are you a gaming or high-performance user? You need every ounce of power for gaming, streaming, or maybe some heavy-duty AI stuff. Figure out which one of these is you right now because your entire decision hinges on it. All right, section 2. You've got your profile in mind, so now let's tackle the brain of the whole operation, the CPU. That's the processor. Now, this is usually the part that trips everyone up, but I promise you we're going to make this super, super simple to understand. So, when we're talking about Intel CPUs, you're going to see two main families right now, the Core i series and the new Ultra series. Think of it like this. The classic Core i series, that's your i5, i7, i9, is all about raw, unadulterated performance. It's for getting the absolute max power out of the machine. The new Ultra series, on the other hand, is a bit different. It's built for a balance of performance and efficiency. That means you get excellent battery life, and it's also optimized with a special chip, an NPU, just for handling AI tasks. So it's really a choice between max power or smart, efficient power. Okay, so what about those crazy long CPU names? The ones that look like a cat walked across the keyboard. Well, it's actually a pretty simple code. Let's take this Intel one, for example, i5-13-450H. You can ignore most of it. The only good parts you really need to care about are the first couple of digits, that's the generation, and that single letter at the very end. That letter tells you everything about its performance. And that final letter, the suffix, tells you exactly what that chip is built for. It's super simple. If you're a productivity user, you're looking for a U or a P. Those are low-power chips designed for thin laptops and great battery life. But if you're a creative or a gamer, you've got to have an H. And if you want the absolute best performance possible, you're looking for an HX. Just match the letter to the profile you picked earlier. It's that easy. And here's the simplest rule of thumb to remember. When you're comparing two chips from the same family, like an i5 versus an i7, or an Ultra 5 versus an Ultra 7, it's easy. A bigger number is just better. Higher numbers generally mean more performance. Simple as that. Okay, section 3. We've got the brain of the laptop sorted out. Now, let's talk about the graphics, the GPU. This is the part of the computer that handles literally everything you see on the screen, from just browsing the web to running a super demanding 3D game. And when it comes to graphics, there's really one fundamental question you have to ask yourself. Do you need a basic, power-efficient solution, or do you need a separate, super powerful engine that's dedicated only to handling visuals? And guess what? The answer goes right back to that profile you chose. Integrated graphics are actually part of the CPU. They're super power efficient, which makes them perfect for our productivity users. But if you're a creative or a gamer, it's non-negotiable. You absolutely have to have a dedicated GPU. Think of it as a separate muscular chip that's essential for video editing, 3D modeling, AI, and, of course, playing modern games.
Now, when you start looking at laptops with those dedicated GPUs, you're going to see one name pop up over and over again: NVIDIA. I mean, they dominate something like 99% of the market, and honestly, for good reason. They have this amazing technology called DLSS that makes your games run way faster, and the ray tracing creates these incredibly realistic 3D visuals. For anyone serious about gaming, editing, or even a lot of AI work, NVIDIA is pretty much the top choice.
All right, section 4. So we've nailed down the core engine, the CPU and the GPU. Now let's talk about the parts you're going to be interacting with every single day: the screen, the RAM, and the storage. First up, let's talk about RAM, or memory. Look, you might still see some laptops being sold with 8 gigabytes. In 2025, no, don't do it. With how demanding even web browsers are now, 16 gigabytes is the new absolute minimum. That's what you need for a smooth, lag-free experience. And hey, if you see DDR5 on the spec sheet, that's a great bonus. It's the latest and fastest standard. Next up, the screen. And please, don't just look at the size. For the panel type, IPS is a fantastic all-rounder, but OLED will give you those jaw-droppingly beautiful colors. Resolution? 1080p is the standard, but if you're a creative, you should really be looking for 2K or more. And look for a refresh rate of at least 90 Hz. It makes everything, even just scrolling, feel so much smoother. And for all my creative folks out there, 100% color accuracy is an absolute must. Don't even consider a laptop without it. And here is a pro tip that so many people miss: screen brightness. You know when you try to use your laptop in a bright room or near a window and all you see is your own reflection? Yeah, that's what we want to avoid. You need to look for a screen that's at least 350 nits bright. That's kind of the magic number where you can actually see what you're doing, even if you're working in a sunny coffee shop. Okay, section 5. We are so close. You figured out your profile, you know exactly what components to look for. You are almost at the finish line. Think of this last section as your final pre-purchase checklist. Just a few quick things to check right before you hit that buy button. All right, here it is, your final 3-step check. Step 1, check the ports. Seriously, does it have the USB-A ports, the HDMI, the SD card reader that you actually need? And if you can, find one with a Thunderbolt port. It's like the master key of ports. It does everything. Step 2, verify the battery life. Just ignore whatever the manufacturer claims on the box. Go watch or read a real review to see what the battery is actually like. And finally, step 3, for your last couple of choices, go to a free website like NanoReview. You can plug in the exact CPU models and see how they stack up against each other in a real-world performance test. And that last step, comparing the CPUs, is so important. And here's why. It's a little surprising. You would think that any i5 is always going to be better than any i3, right? Well, not always. A brand new high-performance i3 can actually outperform an older, low-power i5. See? You can't just trust the name on the sticker. You have to compare the specific models. It literally takes 30 seconds, and it can stop you from making a really bad decision. And that's it. You've got the complete toolkit now. You know how to figure out your purpose, how to decode all those confusing components, and how to do that final check before you buy. The power is officially in your hands now. So my question to you is, with all this new knowledge, what laptop are you going to choose?